Am I making a video about the campaign that came out a week ago? Absolutely. Hey, what's going on? I'm just Soul. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the campaign that came out a week ago. Initially, I was actually just going to post my actual gameplay of it. All 8 hours of the gameplay that I couldn't use because it didn't have any audio. So, now I'm here. This is my last character to do the campaign on, so I thought I would just do probably like the first mission while talking about it. I'll talk about the things I like, dislike, post-campaign, Kepler, and then probably some other little things like talking about the portal and stuff. If you do enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and comment. If you want to see more of my content, subscribe. And with that, let's jump right in. Me personally, I really liked the campaign. Definitely did start slow, and the puzzles were like super simple in the beginning because they were still like teaching you each of the different like elements of puzzle solving. Have I never opened this chest? Man, that's crazy. And so it did kind of have a kind of slow start, but in my opinion, I think it was definitely worth it. I think the latter half was very, very good. Both like the story and solving the puzzles, being able to use all three of them together. I thought it was actually a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. I wish that it kind of stayed that way, because I feel like we got to do kind of like in the, I'd say like middle to like back third or like back fourth. You were using all the different abilities, and then you kind of stopped. You kind of like just went to only using Matter Spark. Like you didn't use the relocator anymore, and you didn't use Mattermorph. Maybe you used Mattermorph a little bit, but it was by itself. But it was really just you using Matter Spark, which is kind of unfortunate because I really liked using all of them together. And then the final boss, you only use Matter Spark in, which is kind of weird because there was a lot of other boss fights where you use multiple of them. And so it was strange that the final boss fight, it was just Matter Spark. And you didn't even really do anything with the Matter Spark. You know, you weren't like traversing through areas to, you know, kill certain ads or whatever to be able to like change damage phases. It was literally just shooting through like a jump pad so that you could what was it, kill servitors? Yeah. And so that's kind of unfortunate that it kind of just like stops. It's the depth of puzzle solving just plummets when you get further in, which is weird because you think that wouldn't be the case. You think it'd get even more complex, right? And so it's just kind of unfortunate because, you know, I like Matter Spark. I liked it at the very beginning. But then you definitely do overuse Matter Spark, especially in like post-campaign, in like the sieve and stuff, where it's just Matter Spark spam. Especially when you get the ability to like summon it yourself instead of like a sparrow. Then it's just like Matter Spark gameplay. That's like literally all you use, which is just really unfortunate because I feel like they really were at a good point of depth of the puzzles they had to offer when I was able to use like 2 or 3 of them at the same time. And so, because I actually liked the relocator. And so it's kind of a shame that I feel like relocator was actually kind of used the least. I feel like once we got Mattermorph, we definitely used Mattermorph a lot, which is fine. You know, I like Mattermorph, but definitely Matter Spark is like the biggest deal, which makes sense because, like, you know, to be fair, that's kind of the thing that they were kind of advertising. That was like the big deal, was like you're a ball type vibe, which is whatever, you know. Oh, I gotta get in the hole real quick. I also really liked some of the bosses. I like the one that, where is Matter Spark? The one with like the critical overload timer. I actually really liked that mission. I feel like that mission was handled really well. Because I feel like a lot of missions that have kind of like an urgency to them don't really feel that way because they're just like, oh, something bad's about to happen. But then like you don't really feel any, there's nothing like really there to kind of push that, you know. Compared to that mission where, you know, it's, you know, you got alarms going off, you've got a timer that's like freaking out that even though you can extend to like a really far time. I felt like it really was urgent. I feel like, I mean, man, I really am like really, this is kind of a big deal, and I am running low on time, and like something bad's about to actually happen. along with the voice lines by Ikora and Lodi. Which that's the other thing. The cast this expansion was phenomenal. When they first showed off Lodi, I was kind of worried because the last time we had like a genuinely new character was Lightfall. In Final Shape, all we really had was the Witness, but like we already met the Witness before then, and so that's like it was like Lightfall was the last one, and so I was really worried that Lodi was gonna just be another Nimbus, or Nimbus just actually made that campaign like. Nimbus was like the reason, I'd say probably like 50-60% of the reason why that campaign was so terrible. And so yeah, that was like my big worry, which in my opinion, I think is pretty justified. But after doing it, no, Lodi's probably like my favorite character, like just in the game. They did such an immaculate job portraying Lodi as this genuinely normal person. You know, he's just a normal guy that's just absolutely just thrown into this world that he knows nothing about, and him just trying not to die, right? And so I really like Lodi, especially after like you found out who he really was and stuff. That's when he just got even better. And Orin was another one. Orin I was a bit hesitant on because honestly I thought she was gonna get worse now that she wasn't the emissary anymore. I thought she was gonna get worse because they were gonna like try to like force her down our throats, and it was gonna be like super cringe and bad. But no, Orin was really good, and honestly, Ikora was the biggest turnaround. The Ikora lore, on top of the fact that Ikora honestly has been kind of bad, mainly because she's gotten so many new voice actors, and every time she gets a new voice actor, they just kind of like force her into a story. And so I thought they did that. I thought that's what this was as well. That they kind of just like, oh, since she has a new voice actor, let's just make her a part of the story like they have every other time. But no, she was incredible. She did such a good job, especially after she like found out who she was. Look how balanced this gun is. This is my favorite thing about the expansion, is how balanced this gun is. It was crazy that no matter which characters they chose to have in like a mission, I was excited for all of them. Usually I would just be like sitting here, just like ignoring every other character and just waiting for Drifter to show up. Oh my god, Drifter's gonna be the only good one. But what does it matter, right? All the rest of these characters suck. So I'm just gonna wait for Drifter to get screen time, call it a day. But him kind of like playing kind of like a background role, I was actually pretty okay with. Mainly because every other character was good. Like seeing Lodi, I didn't care. You know, I was glad I got to see Lodi. And so yeah, I actually really like. Narratively speaking, the story was absolutely phenomenal, and so it was actually like really good. I was actually I was a huge fan of the story not being bad, because I'm gonna be honest, how they kind of advertised it, I really thought it was gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna hop in for, you know, maybe like 2.5 hours and call it a day, you know, play a mid-ass story, just call it a day, right? But no, I mean, dude, I recorded for 8 hours, which is a really long time. Just to not be able to have any of the footage be usable. Replayability speaking, like doing this on another character, is fine. I did it on my Hunter first, just for like power level reasons, which this is like, I don't know the actual like optimal way other than just straight up doing Encore of getting power level, but I liked doing this a second time to get power level, just because the drops were always like really high. They were like 7 to 10 power higher than what I was. So I thought it was pretty good. Am I supposed to be going somewhere? It does like suck that you don't get to keep your abilities. It'd be nice to like on the run back be able to just open the chest that you missed when you couldn't do them in the first place. You know what I mean? But it's fine. You just gotta, actually just find them. Just whatever. Post-campaign, what do we have? We have the hand cannon. I feel like that mission was supposed to be for lore. I wasn't really paying attention, mainly because I really just wanted the gun and I really just wanted to play PvP. At that point, I was tired of playing PvE because I just done 8 hours of campaign, and so I didn't really care, which that's on me. That's on me. But I feel like it was a bunch of like lore stuff that was like actually important or cool, but it wasn't hard. It was fast. It was easy. I didn't have to unlock an entire new subclass or any, like, just do terrible, stupid, boring missions like I had to get Still Hunt. Boop. I like playing Gambit. Big Gambit guy. That's another thing. The actual, like, the lore, the Gambit lore was crazy. the fact that they actually used us, like, banking moats and stuff, and that being actual, like, canon and important for story, it's actually kind of interesting. That is, like, not at all what I was expecting. I actually really liked. I thought that was really cool. Because I figured that was just completely worthless, and that was him just yapping. You know what I mean? I'm glad that Orin isn't, like, completely brain dead and useless for very long. She's at, like, the very beginning, and she still, you know, has a little, you know, she's got some quirks, but, like, she at least becomes, for the most part, functioning towards the end, which is the important part. Even though the actual, like, ending gameplay wasn't that interesting, the story beat of the very ending, like, was very good. That cinematic shot of 3 was badass. That was like wallpaper status type vibe. Like, that was super clean. I like the setup that we have for kind of the future of content. I like that we do have a bad guy being Maya Sundaresh, but the objective itself isn't just killing Maya. You know what I mean? You know, it's binding the 9. And so I actually kind of like that. I like that it's not as easy as just killing somebody. Now, ultimately, are we going to kill someone? Yeah, it's more likely than not going to be Maya, and maybe some of the 9 as well. But our objective isn't actually to just straight up, you know, it's not just like, oh yeah, some of the 9 are bad, go hunt them and kill them, you know what I mean? It's like, no, you need these guys to ally with each other. This whole, like, inner and outer that they talk about, and how, you know, some of them don't really agree with each other. Yeah, I like that our objective is actually joining people together and not just, here's a list of bad guys, go knock them out. You know what I mean? And so I like that that is kind of the story they have going forward. Because, you know, we already killed a big bad guy. You know what I mean? And so it'd be kind of lame to do it again. Like I said, I like the campaign. Kind of the rest of the game is kind of 50-50 on. I wish exotics had more stats. And I wish PvP was more rewarding. But other than that, the expansion is actually... Oh, and, you know, excluding the absolute just the plethora of bugs. We're going to pretend that those don't exist for a second. So I'm assuming they'll eventually get fixed anyway, right? Surely. I actually thought this expansion was going to fuck up the game more. And so the fact that it didn't, you know, I'll take it. I really thought this expansion was actually going to be a lot worse. I thought the campaign was going to suck. I thought the changes were going to be terrible. But honestly, it's actually not that bad. It could be way worse. I'm assuming things will get better, theoretically speaking. So, also, I'm looking forward towards Solstice. I like that they're actually, like, fully just committing to the actual summer theme instead of the Solstice of Heroes, kind of like Valiant armor and whatever. I like the more, you know, goofy floaties and stuff. I think the weapons look, at least the grenade launcher looks hilarious. Yeah, that's all I got. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like and a comment. If you want to see more of my content, you subscribe. I'm just Soul, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.